everyone. Welcome to the stream. So, sorry, I was just doing some final checking with the frames and all that. Oh, hey, Tanuki! Welcome to the stream. How's your playing? Is it all working? Hopefully it is. I restarted twice just to make sure. I cleared all the cache. And so, yeah, hopefully it'll work. Uh, Still feed. Oh yeah, I saw. I saw. I actually like that you have Jafar. Jafar is one of my favorite characters in that particular title. Jafar, Nino, and oh, of course, Hector. But yeah, I'll probably be able to finish the first. No, it's not chapter one. It's actually the prologue. I think. Hopefully. Okay, let's. Actually, I need to brighten this. I already tried it before, and it's like I need to brighten it because I'm blind. All right. Okay, and let's see what else. Yeah, I'm putting. Okay, so for those who know the debate on graphics versus performance, technically, because I don't have a really high grade video capture card, I'm gonna go with graphics just so I can maintain the stable 30 FPS. Maybe if I'm rich someday, I can get better video capture card, then I can go with performance. Also, I do know that there are still some flaws, but apparently the updates, I think was 2 days ago, 3 days ago, an update, which allows you to
It
completely
was
end motion
Moss the
blur. Anyway,
Chronicler who
yeah,
said
let's go.
that the land of Valisthea is blessed in the light of the Mother Crystals, and that it was this light which finally led our forebears out of the darkness. Yet, what they saw in the light gave rise to temptation. Temptation that ever lures us back into the crystal shadow. And thus did our journey begin.
Oh crap, I forgot the volume. Okay, that might be too loud now. Oh, right. Oh man. I think I can still pre-order the soundtrack for this. I think. I don't have the budget though. Maybe. And then Xenoblade Chronicles 3 soundtrack is arriving end of the month. Oh. Oh. Oh, hey, Clive. Wait, can I check active lore? No. Okay.
It'll be light soon. Both camps have begun to stir.
You all know the target. Shiva's dominant. And only the dominant.
No one else? Where's the fun in that? How do we even know the girl will be among them?
Our kind do not question orders. We follow them. Try to keep that in mind. Let's get this done.
Focus, Wyvern. You are key to this mission's success.
Yes, Sergeant.
I said focus, Wyvern.
Okay. Oh, I can't access. Ah! Wait. Right. So some stuff has been updated. Okay. Hip? Where was it? Was it here? Automatically adjust camera position when next target is off screen. Oh, here it is. Motion blur. Maybe just 85 is okay. Right. Okay, it has D. Oh, they really changed it. Oh, cycle icons. Lock on, iconic feet. The thing is, I got used to A. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I got used to A. With the demo, that is. Okay. Oh, okay. Right. Yes, I did. I just went there.
We don't have time for this. All hell is about to break loose.
I just did.
Time to move.
Jump. Lol.
We're just in time. this is going, they won't need this new dominant of theirs. What?
Yeah, I really need to fix the volume of my TV to this.
To the gates! Quickly! Move!
What do you mean, you refuse? Did you not pledge your swords to our cause?
Come now. Marshal, the King of Waloed is our guest.
And you have His Majesty's answer.
It's really hot right now.
I wonder that you summoned us at all. Have you so little faith in your own men? It was the Dalmex who drove back the Crusaders in the Battle of the Twin Realms, was it not? Or am I mistaken? Besides, your dominant has yet to take the field. And when he does, our knights would only get in the way.
Perhaps you have not heard, but the Ironblood now have their own dominant. We would be fools to underestimate them.
Bugger their knights.
What did you say?
Should this citadel be allowed to fall, the capital will lie exposed.
And Kupka really looks so big
And I
compared to
doubt
the
the
others.
Crusaders will wait for the good king's pawns to line up before taking to the board. Which just leaves me.
Krupka!
The Ironblood will rue the day they set foot on Storm. This game is over.
You cock!
Benedicta.
Take care.
Does the lion take care when he chases the hare? Or do you think me one of the latter?
No, my love. You are a lion. You're my lion.
I'm not afraid of a little frost, Benedicta. But I will need someone to warm me when I come home.
Wait, but you're not fire anyway. Wait, can I
The
check
front
active
lines are
lore?
gone. This is our chance.
No, I lost my chance to
Chaos
actually
will
check the
conceal
active
us.
lore. Wait, I can! Okay. Let's see active time lore. The Bastards. A unit of trained assassins deployed to the Nisa's defile, deep within Dalmatian territory and tasked with the elimination of an enemy dominant. Nisa Defile is a deep, arid valley located in the eastern part of the Dalmatian Republic. During the Battle of the Twin Realms in 865, it was the site of repeated skirmishes as the Iron Kingdom attempted to make incursions into Dalmatian territory. The Iron Crusade. The fighting forces of the Iron Kingdom. Ultimate command rests with the king, who issues orders directly to the commanders of each of his battalions. Ironblood soldiers generally prefer heavy clubs and great axes over swords and other lighter weapons. This rather brutal approach is indicative of their overall attitude, which has earned them a reputation on the continent as savage, if somewhat primitive warriors. Okay. Men the fists. Dalmacia's standing army. While officially an organ of the Republic, each of its 5 states is granted relative autonomy with regard to the management of its troops. Aside from certain specialized squads, battle deployments are mostly comprised of small military units employing a mixture of foot soldiers and battle mages. The former are known and feared for their curved swords and prodigious axes and the deadly skill with which they wield them. Oh yeah, the brand. So the brand is the mark applied to the cheeks of bearers, identifying them as something other than human. The great nations of Valistea have a long-standing accord to brand their bearers in this way, that the slaves might be traded across borders. Yeah. Sounds rough. Okay, so far so good. No frames dropped. That's good. I'm just surprised, like, what? So I'm looking at the stats on OBS and like, oh, okay. Right. Wait, let me check. Sorry, guys. I wanna check motion blur. Can I see 2? Okay, maybe just 1. I think that's okay. Oh, actually, wait, no, sorry. I think 2 is okay. Maybe 3. We'll see, we'll see. It's not confusing, right? Let me see. I'm really sorry, guys. I just wanted to make sure. Maybe... Okay. Let me check without motion blur. You guys can turn around for a bit. I just want to make sure. Okay, yeah, I think I'm better off without motion blur. Motion blur.
And quick and deadly, as always. Take the van.
Wait. Something's not right.
Ow, sorry. I actually hit the mic. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Titan. So the Darmaks finally grew tired of being slaughtered.
And look who's here to greet the
Ow,
boss.
sorry guys, I kept hitting the microphone.
Come on.
That's Shiva and Titan. go. Ho ho.
You don't get to die here, Wyvern. Move!
Yes, sir. Oh crap.
She's right on top of us.
Oh crap. Yeah.
Anytime, Wyvern.
Oh, where? Where? You don't know. Oh, okay.
You just gonna stand there?
Wyvern! Wyvern! I told you before, you do not get to die here.
Clive! Get up, Clive!
Do you yield? Well, if you're not cut out to be a shield, there's always work for you in the stables. Unless, of course, you think you can defend your master while sat on your arse in a puddle of pig swill.
I'm sure he'd find a way. My brother always looks after me. Right?
Go on. You're sure to hit him eventually.
Don't give up now.
Oh no!
2 arms, then. It wouldn't do to disappoint the gallery. Let's start again from the beginning. Come, show me your form.
Up to 4 attacks can be chained. Okay.
Once more, please. Very good. Such swordsmanship will serve you well in the field. But can the same be said of your spellcraft? The flames of the Phoenix burn within you. Now let them burn without. Come, Clive. Rain fire down upon me.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Keep them coming. Well done. You wield the Firebird's flames just as a first shield should.
You flatter me, my lord.
Or would you rather I flattened you? Can be arranged. Let's see if you can elude my blade. After all, your attacking prowess will count for naught if you don't live long enough to use it.
True.
On your toes, Lord Rossfield.
Can I don't think I can dash, right? Oh, evade. Oh man, I'm really bad at this.
Never
Oh,
take your
yeah,
eyes
I'm
off
bad
your
at
enemy.
this. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. No, that's normal dodging. Ah. Oh wait,
Good.
my timing. Okay.
Move only when you must.
Come on!
Oh, there we go.
Good. Remember, Clive, your blade is not your only weapon. Quickness of thought and fleetness of foot are indispensable arms in any shield's arsenal. But you are not just any shield, are you?
Am
Show
I?
me what sets you apart from the rest. You have been blessed by the Phoenix, granted the use of its power. Call upon that power now to close on me. Well, I'm waiting.
Well, I'm waiting. Yes, sir.
Impressive. But even the most agile shield cannot hope to escape every blow. And death may come by a handful of cuts as easily as it comes by 1,000. There is only one way to ensure that you do not fall. Keep your wounds mended and your energies replenished. Speaking of which, my lord, you seem a little worse for wear. Now that won't do at all.
Okay. Ah! No, no, no. I don't want to use it there. I don't want to use
Alright
it
then.
there. Oh, full. Oh, crap. I should have used high potion.
That's better.
It has to be fully replenished.
Battle is a succession of pivotal moments, wherein life and death can be decided at a single stroke. You must be ready to utilize every tool at your disposal if you are to navigate a path to victory, or at the very least, to ensure that you live to fight another day. Enough practice. It's time for the test. You've recovered from your soaking, I trust. You wouldn't want to kick a man while he's drowned.
I thought you'd never ask.
Come then, Lord Rossfield. Spar with me. If you believe yourself worthy to be called Shield of the Flame, then prove it.
As you wish, my lord.
Have at me, boy. Make proof of your strength.
Okay.
Go on, you're sure to beat him this time.
You can do it, Clive. Just stay calm.
You're taking this seriously.
Keep going, Clive.
Alright, Rising Flames.
the tools at my disposal. Let's try.
Go on, Clive. Keep pressing.
Just a little more. We believe in you.
You're a damnably quick learner, Lord Rosfield.
He won! See? I told you he could do it.
Aye.
Bested at last. It's taken me long enough. That was a display worthy of your father. You are a true shield of the flame, and let no one tell you otherwise.
Including me.
Me. What are you lot gawping at? Back to your drills.
Oh, Joshua.
Joshua. I was just tired. The Phoenix's flames are a gift. You mustn't waste them.
It isn't a waste. My shields look after me. Why shouldn't I?
That's why. You were coughing this morning too. You shouldn't be outdoors.
I'll be fine. It's just a cold.
Don't push yourself.
Oh,
His Grace has returned!
Joshua really
Father's back.
sounds so baby.
Your Grace, please, this is no place for one such as you.
I would gladly brave hell itself to see my darling boy. Gentlemen, Rosaria thanks you for your indefatigable loyalty.
Thank you, Your Grace. We live to serve.
Joshua. You should not be out of doors. We have discussed this.
I'm sorry.
Good day to you, Mother.
Come, Joshua. Your father will be expecting us. Lord Murdoch?
Your Grace.
What a way to treat your own flesh and blood.
I know. It's not his fault. Not everyone can be born the Phoenix.
We should join them.
Wait, is that Tyler? No, he lacks the beard.
Rise, my friends.
Welcome home, Father.
Thank you, Joshua. You are well, I trust.
Yes, Father. Much better. Today, Jill and I went to the Bailey to watch Clive's spa.
Is that so?
Quiet,
Oh,
Torgal.
Torgal.
Stop it, boy. Not now.
You'll make a fine hound one day.
Father.
Lift up your head, girl.
Thank you, Your Grace.
The capital rejoices at your safe return, Your Grace.
War is coming, my boy. We must make ready.
Is the situation truly so grave?
Come to the throne room. We will talk there.
Yes, Father.
Oh.
Your Grace.
Shields dismissed!
Torgal! Where do you think you're going, Clive here is off to see the Archduke.
Right.
Should you find yourself lost, do not fret, hold down L3 and trust in your animal instinct to point you in the right direction. The current destination will be displayed with a marker. Okay. Wait. Okay, I can go to... There we go. Rosalit Castle. Situated in the heart of the ducal capital of Rosalit, it is from this towering ivory fortress that the Archduke and his family ruled their nation. An architectural feat the founder himself would be proud of, the castle has stood since the early days of the duchy and watched over the rise of this proud nation and the people who inhabit the city beneath. Archduke of the Grand Duchy of Rosaria and father of Clive and Joshua, loved by his people for steadfast leadership both at home and on the battlefield, which he put to good effect in quelling the rebellious northern territories. Firstborn son of Archduke Elwin, ruler of Rosaria. From young age, Clive dedicated himself to mastering the blade, and his practice paid off when he was appointed First Shield of Rosaria, tasked to guard the phoenix and blessed with the ability to wield a part of his fire. Jill Warwick. Born a princess of the Northern Territories, Jill was made a ward of Rosaria after her homeland's incessant raids were quelled by the duchy. She was raised in Rosalit Castle alongside Clive and Joshua, who came to love her as a sister. And Torgal, Clive's faithful friend, brought back from one of Archduke Elwin's expedition to the frozen Northern Territories, where he was found half-starved and shivering in a snowfield, having presumably been separated from his pack. Elwin gifted the puppy to Clive upon his return, and the two became nigh inseparable. Oh, Torgal.
Trouble brewing.
I'm not sure. I need to speak with Father.
All right. Let's get this. One time before the Duchess calls for The Phoenix will be with us. Those savages don't stand a chance.
Okay, maybe I do need to put motion blur. Sorry guys, I think I need to put motion blur. Wait, okay, wait. Sorry, I know. Okay, maybe that was too high. Man, the adjustments are so sensitive. How about one? Wait. I think 0 is really good. No. We need motion blur. But wait. Sorry guys. I'm just like, oh, that is so bad actually. I think what about middle? Yeah, I think the middle is the best. Sorry about that. Oh hey Taniki, welcome to the stream.
Good as new.
Oh, hiya Papaya.
Forgive me, Lord Marquess, pray do not concern yourself with this bungling
Thank you for
cur.
joining and
How
for the
dare
raid.
you, fool.
Hi.
I say to speak.
Yeah, we're still in the first part. Technically the prologue.
It was no trouble. Really. Oh, do not indulge
Wait,
him.
did you finish
To
already?
be allowed to stand in your lordship's presence is more
Also,
than
hi,
his
everyone.
kind deserves. Why, neither the Empire nor the Republic treat their bearers half so well. He was lucky to be born in your father's dominion. Very lucky, as I remind him every day.
Right. Oh, hi, Derolo. Yes, welcome to the stream. Yes, I'm starting. Okay, so technically, this is not a blind playthrough. I've watched the game from start to finish 4 times, but I never played it. Ended up getting it, and so yeah, this is my first time actually playing it, but I do know the story. We beat Limstella. Nino got to level 15. Nice. So we'll continue and finish tomorrow. Nice. I really like Nino. Though my preference is still Jafar. Okay, we get an update on the brand. The mark applied to the cheeks of bearers across Valistia, identifying them as something other than human. Newborn babes are checked at birth. Those who are found to be bearers being branded and taken to the custody of the state. Rarely, bearers evade this test, either because their parents hide them, the testers are lax in their duties, or their powers do not awaken until later. Yet most do not remain unbranded for long. So technically, the bearers are technically the slaves in this game world. And the bearer, a person with the power to cast magics without a crystal. In Valistea, men and women who awaken as bearers are enslaved. There you go. They are marked with a brand upon their cheek and used as a tool, a cheaper alternative to the scarce and precious shards. This system of slavery has persisted for centuries and has become so ingrained in Valistian life that few take pity upon the bearer's plight, seeing them as less than human. So basically, in the world of Valistia, there's magic, but in order to use magic, you need crystals. However, there are rare instances where people are born who have the power to cast magic without the use of crystals, and they're called bearers. And unfortunately, they're enslaved because it's kind of it's a different power dynamics if you think about it. In a world where people have the power of magic. I beaten the main story. Now I'm going for the the platinum trophy. Yes. So, are you doing the new game plus? I suppose.
Stand, please.
Start. I trust his good fortune will continue. Of course, if that is your lordship's wish. Don't work too hard. Remember, it is for the good of the duchy that you serve. As do we all, my lord. As do we all. Come along now. Back to your duties.
So, like, fortunately, in Valistia, the duchy of Rosaria is quite lenient towards bearers. Actually, if Clive was not royalty, he would become a bearer, technically. Oh, okay, so you really are doing the New Game Plus. Nice. By the way,
Looks like they're getting ready for supper.
your username, Derolo, does it have something to do with Critical Role? Derolo.
I'm having my bearer filled with well, my lord. Best to save what crystals we can, eh?
So yeah, that's one of the think
Wheat harvest's down again.
that's
Coming
how
in.
people
This
use
war ends up
bearers.
dragging on, we'll starve.
So
Best fill our bellies while we can, then, eh?
they become technically objects of convenience, so to speak. Like, use their magic. Which kind of sucks, really.
Fine display, my lord. Almost felt sorry for the Lord Commander.
Nice and quiet in here, isn't it?
Oh man. I wish I could explore my castle.
There's Joshua.
Yeah. But before that, I'm really amazed at how creative they got, how should we display their magic and how are they useful. Then you have this guy. He's pretty much mowing and shaping the trees. Sorry.
Do you understand? The power of the Phoenix
What?
dwells within Joshua, and Joshua alone. If any ill should befall him, it will be on your head. Do not neglect your duties again. Yes, Your Grace.
Kinda sad.
Clive,
Are you worried about the war?
the soldiers will expect the Phoenix to help them, but I don't know if I can.
Don't worry, Joshua. Father will guide you. And I will protect you. Always.
I know. Thank you, Clive.
Hey, don't worry, trust in your big bro. Don't listen to mom. Okay.
Good luck.
Toggle.
You commanded my presence, Your Grace. How may I serve you?
All right, you can stop licking my boots. Your mother isn't here.
Do the territories fare any better?
No, unfortunately.
Most lie under a pall of black. In just these few moons, the Blight has taken nigh on all of the northern reaches. It is only a matter of time before it crosses the border.
By the flames.
Nearly every available bed in the capital is already occupied by those fleeing the Deadlands. Even if we were to send them south, to Port Isolde, more would only follow in their wake. Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
Against the Iron Kingdom.
We have traded blows with them for too long. It is time to end it.
At the very least, we must secure Drake's breath. Without the
Oh, it's
blessing of
too
the Mother
cold
Crystal,
now.
we cannot defend our realm from the spread of the Blight.
The Blight.
The Iron Blood.
Sorry, Dad. I need to check. The Mother Crystals. Enormous glassy mountains, 5 of which tower over the lands of Valistia. They are the source of all the crystals that the people of the Twins rely on in their everyday lives. Not only that, but the lands surrounding them are rich with either. making the magics the crystal cast even more potent. For these reasons, great nations have sprung around each of the mother crystals and have long warred with each other for possessing their blessings. Also known in the local tongue as uh, Hyaran, the Iron Kingdom is an archipelago nation situated off the west coast of Storm, with its capital at Craig Los Louis 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 Gte. Oh my gosh, I can't. Sorry, I'm butchering the pronunciation. The Mother Crystal, Drake's Breath, rises from a volcanic island situated just within or without its borders, depending on whom you ask, and has been the subject of long-standing conflict between the Iron Blood and the neighboring Duchy of Rosaria. The Iron Kingdom's inhabitants shun any contact with outsiders, which has given rise to a unique, if largely inward-looking culture. The Deadlands, barren wastes bereft of ether, where no life stirs and magic is all but unusable. Here, both earth and water are stained black, preventing any seed from quickening. In recent years, the blight has spread ever more widely, displacing whole nations before it, driving once peaceable fauna to violent desperation and leaving silent devastation in its wake. Lord Commander of the Rosarian army, outranked only by Archduke Elwyn, who is not only his liege lord but his firm friend. The two share an unshakable bond of trust, Elwyn consulting with Rodney on all military matters. Yeah, they're best friends.
I'll not relinquish it easily. This will be a bitter fight.
We ride for Phoenix Gate tomorrow. There we will listen to the words of our ancestors, as tradition dictates.
Am I to go with you as Joshua's shield?
There is something else I would have you do first. Rodney.
You will have heard the reports, I'm sure, of beast
Welcome
men
back,
from the
Derolo.
north being sighted within our borders.
Wait.
Goblins in the Stillwind Marsh.
My question. Oh yeah, it's okay. It wasn't a very big question. I think I just asked like, hey, Derolo, that name, is it inspired by Critical Role? A certain Percy Derolo.
I know of the rumors, yes.
Then you know what must be done. I will give you 2 good men.
So it's all good, no worries.
While we ride north tomorrow, you will journey to Stillwind, search it, and clear it. Then you will join us at Phoenix Gate.
It is time to prove your strength. And shut your mother up for good.
I will do my duty, Your Grace.
I like how everyone is in on the joke. Why, yes, it is.
Rest.
Really?
We ride at dawn.
Yes,
Nice.
Your Grace.
Have you been keeping up with the episodes recently? Hey Dad, can I talk to you more?
We drove the Iron Blood from our shores once before, but their patriarch still dreams of spreading his message to Storm. And when the Crusaders march, they move a damn sight quicker than the Blight ever did.
So we recapture the Mother Crystal, end their ambitions, and secure the duchy.
Only the light of the Phoenix can guide us through these dark days. But that does not mean I'm happy asking this of Joshua. Look after him, won't you?
Of
Even
course,
if it
Dad.
costs me my life.
Let's make sure it doesn't come to that.
Oh man, I left her dad. No, Doc.
This war we mean to wage. It isn't only for control of the Mother Crystal. Above all else, we cannot allow those Ironblood savages to gain a foothold on Storm.
I know. I would sooner die than see them darken our shores again. I wish you a safe journey tomorrow.
And I you, Clive. May your blade strike true.
Hmm. Hell yeah, been keeping up since when they first started. Also, oh, so you've been watching them since season one. I guess it makes sense. Season one. I would say, yeah. I guess I'm more of a Vax person. I still like Percy, but yeah, I'm more of a Vax. Then again, I like everyone in Vox Machina as well. However, I would actually say if I were to choose which campaign or which, group of adventurers or which party I feel closest to, I would say I'm more of a Mighty Nine, to be honest. Yeah, Mighty Nine is it's just different, I guess. But yeah, I'm also enjoying the current campaign. Although
How
my
long will you
favorite
be away this
in the
time?
current campaign is actually not there.
Not long.
It's
4
Dorian.
days. Maybe 5.
And you will be taking Joshua?
Well, I can't exactly leave him behind, can I? The blood of the Rosfields runs in his veins. Before going to war, we perform the rite at Phoenix Gate. It's our way. You know that. And only the dominant can enter the apothecary, so yes, I'm taking Joshua.
Wait. I just want to read about her so I can be done with it. But yes, yeah, it's like if you want the very godlike beings, or not really godlike. I mean, then again, Kilit just we're like gods. But yeah, the Vox Machina is like really the good strong group. But yeah, but Mighty Nine, I do agree, has really good story. Annabella Rosfield, Duchess of Rosaria, wife of Archduke Elwin, and mother to Clive and Joshua. It was not only her beauty, but her connection to a bloodline that produced many previous dominants of the Phoenix that led to her being proposed as a bride for the young Archduke. Indeed, the two are cousins! I knew it! Because that was okay, so this is why I really wanted to play the game, because you don't get to see this information when you're just watching the cutscenes. Because I was thinking, like, like, why is she so confident that it's her bloodline? Why is it not Elwin's? And I'm like, you know what, if this is really based on, or the concept is based on real world medieval times, yeah, cousins tend to marry to make sure the bloodline is pure. Anyway, having known from a young age that her purpose in life was to preserve her phoenix bearing bloodline, she dotes on Joshua and scorns Clive. Which is sad because he is still your son. The second son of the Archduke of Rosaria, Joshua was appointed heir to the ducal throne by virtue of his awakening as dominant of the Phoenix. His love and admiration for his elder brother Clive is absolute, and he is only too proud to have him serve as his first shield. His love for carrots, less so. Oh man. I like Joshua, but I like carrots. Joshua, I need to tell you how good carrots are. Those within whom sleeps the power of an icon, yeah, the dominant. Though they look and think no differently to any other man or woman, they can not only cast elemental magics without a crystal, but also transform themselves into beasts of world-shattering strength at any moment, a quality for which they are honored, worshipped, and feared the realm over. Okay. The Grand Duchy of Rosaria, a nation occupying the western reaches of the continent of Storm, with Rosalit as its capital. Rosaria was originally formed from a collection of smaller dominions, all of which now stand united under the banner of Archduke Elwin Rosfield. Okay. Not possessing a mother crystal of its own, the duchy has long been locked in bitter conflict with the Iron Kingdom over possession of Drake's Breath, which lies still further to the west in the midst of the boiling sea. So, okay, so for those who don't know, my forte My specialization in research is actually medieval Japanese, and there's one thing that I really like about the world building of this game
Oh, to
is
hell with your way! The boy is ill.
it is influenced by medieval
You think I don't know
settings. Settings. So it's
that?
not
But the boy
just
is also the phoenix.
purely European medieval settings.
The
Some
heir
of
to the
it
throne.
have a lot of inspiration
can't
from medieval
keep him in
Japanese
swaddling clothes all
culture
of his
as well,
life.
and setting,
Elwyn!
Don't
specifically
worry.
geography.
Clive will watch over him. Though he is a youth of but 15 years, he's already a fine soldier. He will make a splendid shield.
You see more in him than the Phoenix did. He was rejected, Elwyn.
He was rejected, Elwyn.
Our household has no place for such a failure.
I'm
He
so
is worthless.
sorry.
A man like any other.
Don't
As
you
am
just
I,
feel that
my dear?
urge to mock her?
Nonsense. You
Because I do.
are the Archduke of Rosaria.
Oh, not this again. You know as well as I do that I only sit upon the throne because my father was taken before his time.
Wait, chotomate. Hopefully we go back to the Crown Keepers one day. I want to know what's going on. Actually, yes. I also want to, especially since we got more information recently of, what's been happening. Like before they did the entire let's go to Hellcatch Valley to stop Ludinus and gang. And then more recently with Tim Isilra, because Denise with the dollar sign was able to scry on Dariax, and we learned some things. And it's like, oh my gosh, is Opal okay? But yeah, I do want. I think that we're gonna have another EXU, maybe a 2 episode or 3 episode one shots about the Crown Keepers soon. Yeah, hopefully we do need to know what's up with them.
I am merely warming the seat till Joshua comes of age.
Oh.
You are your father's firstborn son, and you sit upon the throne. All is in its right place.
No, woman.
Unlike some, you have not disgraced our noble blood.
Without men like Clive to keep us safe, your precious noble blood would long since have graced the gutter. We have an early start. I'm going to sleep.
Oh, your girlfriend's Japanese. Awesome. So you guys get to talk in Japanese then? Ow. I keep hitting the table.
This is it then. Time to prove yourself.
Wishing on a star?
I'm a little old for that. I should get some sleep.
Right.
Should get some sleep, but then they're still there.
You're going with them tomorrow, aren't you?
I am Joshua's shield. I'm sworn to protect him.
Oh.
He takes...
Sorry. But they did update it. Sorry, I've been just doing this. Yes, and I'm American. Oh, cool. Wait, are you guys in Japan or are you guys based in America? Because I have a lot of American friends here in Japan. Oh, wait. Maybe not more as British. I have more British friends. Yeah. Firstborn son of Archduke Elwyn, ruler of Rosaria. Though all expected him to inherit the Phoenix Flames and awaken as its dominant, Destiny instead chose his younger brother Joshua to bear that burden. In search of a role of his own, Clive dedicated himself to mastering the blade, and his practice paid off when he was appointed First Shield of Rosaria, tasked to guard the Phoenix and blessed with the ability to wield a part of his fire. Okay. There was a bit... Some of them still reads the same. Some were updated.
I only wish I could save him from himself.
Oh, you guys are in America.
Clive,
okay. We're going to be seniors in college.
I have another mission too.
So graduating?
Father has given me my first command.
Well, if you're not going to pray to Metia for your safe return, I shall just have to do it for you.
Also, since I've started playing Final Fantasy 14, when I look at the moon now, I think, oh, Endwalker.
There's going to be another war, isn't there? Since coming here, I've begun to take peace for granted. I assumed the war between our nations would be the last. But it never really ends, does it?
No. The next war will be bigger than before.
But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You're a shield of Rosaria, after all, and blessed by the Phoenix.
Oh, it's getting cold. You guys should go inside.
It's getting cold. We should go in. My lady.
Good night, Clive.
Oh. Yes, I'm going to film and she's going to nursing. Oh, nice. Do you plan to go have further studies? Or are you guys revving up to start working as soon as you finish? Because, you know, if you do want some MA studies for film and cinema, my university here is kind of good for that.
We'll be hunting today.
It's obvious they're into each other.
Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you'll do brilliantly.
I'll try.
Oh, but yeah, if you are interested in applying,
good luck.
The next admission test for masters is, I think, this year, November, December. Just get all your documents ready. And it almost takes a year to apply. Oh wait, no, half a year, because it's masters.
Friends, we ride for Phoenix Gate. May the blessing of the crystals go with us and shield the Firebird's flame forevermore!
As grace departs, open the gates!
I took a summer class to finish the lectures, so now I just have to go to class for the hands-on stuff. Oh, I see.
Lord Rossfield, allow me. I shall see her safely.
When you say hands-on stuff, do you guys...
Thank you.
Do you guys actually join actual productions of film?
We're ready to depart, my lord.
May I say what an honor it is to serve alongside you?
Tyler! Okay, Sir Wade looks weird without the beard.
If there are goblins in Stillwind, they won't leave willingly. The beastmen are a fierce foe. We underestimate them at our peril.
Not today, we won't.
Sir Wade, Sir Tyler, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
As you command.
To the marshes, then. And may the blessing of the crystals go with us.
Oh, that's nice. So my original degree back in the Philippines was mass communication, and we had on-the-job training, so OJTs for a semester in different areas. So there's radio broadcasting, there's also TV broadcasting. In TV broadcasting, we would every week we would go to the local TV station and the national TV station's local branch. And yeah, we got to actually look and practice behind the scenes.
Keep your eyes open for those goblins. The reports placed them in this area.
Okay.
It's all swamps from here.
Yes,
What's
sir.
your step, my lord?
And everything
else.
So basically, yeah. And because it's more of mass media, so more of journalism, it's pretty much news, but we also did entertainment and documentary series. So it's actually quite fun being behind the scenes of any film productions.
Not exactly the most well-maintained path.
And who do you imagine would maintain it? They've all fled from the Blight.
Wait. Sorry, I'm trying to see. So this is motion blur at number 3. Because I'm trying to see which one. Because I got used to the way it looks like
The old village of Stillwind is ahead. Not that there's a lot left of it.
Yeah. I got used to how it looked like during the demo. I'm kinda seeing if do I feel like it's too blurry. Do you play with motion blur? Or did you totally deactivate? Because I think I think that there's something very wrong. Wait, what if there's no motion blur? Yeah, I think without motion blur is a lot better. At least for me. Oh, wait. Sorry. Yes. Do I have new stuff? No. No. Wait. I can't. Oh wait, I don't think I can use the bonus items from the pre-orders yet. I think 50. I want yes, please. And this one. Okay. Wait a minute. Are you telling me I didn't learn charge magic yet? Okay. Though we've had a long school year because we just had our firstborn back in... Oh, I see. Congratulations. That's actually, like, you know, a reason of happiness. So, it's understandable it's a long school year, but at the same time, you know, the happiness you have from having a child is irreplaceable. Okay, quick facts. During this scene, I was actually imagining Donald Duck because of the quack 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 quack. I know it's me, but I don't know. It sounded like Donald Duck. It sounded like quack quack. Right. The Stillwind Marsh, an area of swampland that stretches northeast from Rosalit Castle. The odd village could once be found here, but nothing to compare to the lively settlements that line the main roads of the realm. And with the encroachment of the Blight and the creatures driven before it, even these scant settlements were soon deserted. Goblins, a common species of beastmen. Okay, I don't want to read about that. Tyler! A loyal shield of Rosaria and scion of a noble family. Tyler followed in his father's footsteps in entering the service of the duchy, rising to the position of right-hand man to the Lord Commander. He was chosen by Lord Murdoch to accompany Clive on his expedition to Stillwind, a level head who could be trusted not only to obey the young Lord Marquis' orders and keep him safe, but to help keep the fiery Sir Wade in line. Okay, so he's actually more like his rank is higher than Wade. So he's the right-hand man of Lord Commander. Sir Wade, a loyal shield of Rosaria chosen by Lord Commander Rodney Murdoch to accompany Clive on his expedition to Stillwind. Once but a low-born page, Wade was inspired to join the ranks after a woodpile fell on him, and his life was saved by a young Joshua. Oh, I didn't know that. See, these are stuff you don't know from just watching cutscenes. No wonder. Okay. Oh, no, this makes more sense because, yeah, spoiler. Later on, he's gonna ask, like, hi, I'm Sir Wade. I don't know if you remember me. So now it makes sense because apparently Joshua saved him. We've been best friends since birth and been dating since 8th grade. Oh, that's so cute.
With me.
Yes, sir. That's actually a very good development of love. I'm not saying that, others who just, meet and then fall in love is invalid, but it's it becomes something different when it's someone you known for your whole life and whom you started as friends, because not only does it feel like it's a more natural development of your relationship, but it's something that you've experienced the ups and downs, the beautiful and the ugly sides, but also it's like, the very raw and unedited version of the person. And, well, sad to say, a lot of people nowadays tend to just put their best foot forward in most cases. Hence the problem with blind dates.
So the reports were true.
I mean, there have been a lot of incidents here, especially with my friends, that they said that, oh, we chatted. Okay, fine. They chatted on Tinder. And then when they met up for real, it's like, he doesn't look exactly, or he doesn't look in any way to the picture in his profile in Tinder. And I was like, yeah, that's Tinder. That's so it's very different. And also personally, I would personally prefer having to have a different kind of relationship for someone who will become my special other. I don't want that relationship to just start as forced, so to speak. I'd prefer a random encounter than something that is forced. So that's why. Yeah. My family loves her and her family loves me. Oh, that's awesome. And I'm not sure of how it is. I'm not sure on, how that is taken in the US, but that kind of respect for your partner often has this negative perception. Where was it? I think it's, yeah, actually, at least in the media. I know that the media is, it's not real, but there have been so many portrayals of your in-laws who are always out to get you.
Forevermore.
But it's like, no. Loot. Yes. Where are you? I missed love. Okay. Anything else here? Hmm. I want swift recovery. And yes. Also, also, uh, okay, so this might be a personal question, and you don't need to answer it, but were- I hope you guys were okay during the entire fiasco, or the entire social climate with the COVID and all, because I do have family in the States, and both of my aunts are already old, like around 80 plus. And even to this day, there would be instances that they would be discriminated because they're Asian. So I really hope that your you guys aren't discriminated upon. I do know that some also get discriminated by having interracial relationships. So I hope that's not the case. I hope it's just one of those isolated incidents that are just blown out of proportion by the media. Although I do know that it's a big problem as well in society. Which is why I actually find it really good to hear that your family likes her and her family likes her. That there's no sense of false treatment. Oh, I didn't. Wait, did I learn Burning Blade? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. We're used to it, to be fair. It's just annoying as. Oh, yes, the Karens. To be honest, the stereotype of Karen, I think, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure in the US it's been there for so long, but the stereotype of the Karen blew up because of COVID. Because there have been so many more incidents that were shed light due to social media during COVID. So like before, we know that there exists this type of stereotype, but we never had a way to name that stereotype, and it was just strange. But it did happen during COVID. I think late 2020, when there were so many videos and content online about Karens, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what they call those people.
We should be nearing the old village square.
Because I think
it might not be a nest of goblins.
It could be. But yeah, I think the more common stereotype was the Mary Sue. But it's a different kind of stereotype. But yeah. But they'll pick up a fight with anyone and things, and there's no helping that. That's true. Oh boy.
Sneaky sods. We're trapped.
My lord.
It's okay.
I'm working on it.
Oh yeah, there's still so many videos.
He's the leader.
I think one of the weirdest one that I saw
to take
was
care of his followers first.
there was a woman who was knocking on someone's door, demanding that they share their Wi-Fi password, and she was threatening their dog. Like, I was like, what the heck? But also there's okay, so the only thing that I don't like about the Karen stereotype is which I guess it's true, most of their representations are women.
And there was one.
But there's also the male counterparts, so how do you call them? You could call them Karens?
He's invited a friend! On your feet, Sir Wade.
Here it comes.
Actually, I should focus on this one. Okay. Let's see. Lesson the Phoenix to not only deal considerable damage. Okay.
Founder, that's a swing and a half. Be ready to move when it winds up for another.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Oh crap! Yep. Don't I have burst? Wait, I don't have burst yet? Wait, I don't have magic burst yet, do I? Oh! Oh crap! Don't worry, I'm fine. Oh wait, I do have magic burst. Oh crap! Yo, for real. I need to do better. I don't have downward. Oh, I don't have it.
Down with you!
Ha. Hey. Cool. Oh, they're called Kevin. That I didn't know. Because most of the time they would just be called a Karen still. For some reason, I don't know.
Come back and fight, you coward!
No,
After
sir,
him,
Wade!
before he summons the rest!
Stop being too temperamental and hot-headed. Yes, I will. But first, I need to know if there are any other items here. No? Nothing? Never mind. Okay, I need this one. Because I was doing it and I was not doing it. If you know what I mean. This would also be nice. Okay. Oh, sorry. Gear. Yes, please. Wait. I'm lost? Oh, here it is. Sorry.
There he is!
Come back here.
Damn it!
Wait, are there any items? Sorry. So this is the thing that I notice. Whenever I just reach a new section, I'm like, is there an item here? Is there an item here? When it comes to gaming, she mainly prefers backseat gamer route. Oh, so she enjoys watching you play then. That's actually kind of cool and sweet, unless you're annoyed by it. Oh, speaking of which, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, I do video game research. That is my specialization here. And that mode, the one you say, which is like you're playing and then it could be backseating, but you know, pretty much the setting where there's a player and there's an audience. it's one of the stuff I actually researched for during my masters.
Keep clear of its maw, my lord. That thing's breath is worse than its bite.
I think I saw someone say like give him Listerine or something, and I'm like, no, Marlboro is the best. Oh crap! Sorry. Ah crap.
Not quite. That reeks! I said stay away from its mouth!
Oh boy. Also, okay, so just a little bit of information. I don't know if I've mentioned before, but I mainly play JRPGs, but I do play pretty much a wide range of genres as well. And one of my other favorite genres is actually the Musou, which is like the Samurai Warriors type, or I guess the more famous franchise is called Dynasty Warriors. So that's why for me, having to do this type of combat here in Final Fantasy is not that much of a big difference.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I'm also used to this kind of playing, and it works. Also, whoever says that this is not JRPG, I know Yoshiki said that, but I don't know. There's just so many stuff that I can contend with. And just play East, play Tales series, heck even Star Ocean. There's so many other like established JRPGs that use active combat. So I don't think that the argument of it not being turn-based makes it not RPG or JRPG like a good argument. It just shows you that you don't actually know a lot of JRPG examples out there. Also, the concept of turn-based combat depends on when those games were released. Because some of the games were released on platforms that could not handle certain codes to allow turn-based combat. I mean, to allow active combat, ATB. But yeah. Ah! Ouch! Lol. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. So, oh fudge. So this is something that my friends actually also notice. Whenever I get, I don't know, damaged or near death, instead of going, you know, angry or stuff, I tend to just laugh it off. And they find it weird, and I'm like, I guess it does feel weird that I do that. I know that some people might even end up rage quitting, throwing a tantrum and stuff. But yeah, I'm also the gaming experience, and it's like, oh, it's just amazing. It's just fun. That's all. Speaking of which, if we ever play Among Us, and especially if it's the hide and seek mode, you're gonna hate it when I'm the imposter. Apparently, when that is how we play the game with my friends, I tend to have a maniacal laughter when I'm the imposter, especially when I'm near them or hunting them. And so they would say like, oh my gosh, you're even scarier now. Because you're the serial killer and you're laughing and they can hear me. What's that? Come on, Clive! You don't think it's weird? Oh, thank you. You mainly play RPGs and JRPGs as well. That's cool.
Rather we made it die.
Oh yeah. I think when I first got my PS3 a long time ago, one of the games that I really loved was the Uncharted series. But that one, I would say that one was actually brought about by nostalgia because I grew up with Crash Bandicoot. So I was like, oh man, it's from Naughty Dogs. Ah! Oh, quick, 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 come on. You're welcome. I'm also a huge Resident Evil fan. Oh yes, Resident Evil as well. But I prefer the survival horror aspect of the series over the horror action. So my favorite Resident Evil is actually Resident Evil 2 because that was the very first game that my cousin let me play. I don't know how censorship is in the US, but you know how games have ratings and you shouldn't let kids play it? My cousin, he's a really good gamer. Um he let me play Resident Evil 2 when I was 7 years old. Because ratings don't matter in the Philippines. And so I was like, really? And then, yeah, we were playing. So I was actually quite surprised. Some of my friends in the US and some in Australia, they were like, they never played certain games because of the rating. And I was like, ratings? What are those?
Thanks.
We never followed ratings back home.
Never thought I'd see it. Not just goblins in Rosaria, but morbals too.
I'll petition His Grace to send a detachment.
Same, actually. I like 4 as well.
Don't stop
I
them
haven't
here.
played
They'll be
Village
at our
yet.
gates before long.
But yeah, I also like 4.
We should get moving. We don't want to be caught out here after dark.
If we set off now, we can still reach Phoenix Gate before nightfall.
Cool, cool, cool. Your parents didn't care what you played growing up as long as you were doing good in school. Nice.
Damn blight.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I think most of the time, not just censorship or ratings, but more like parental guidance should be there only if it becomes a detriment. Whatever it is that your kid is doing becomes a detriment for them, I guess, in life and in school. But yeah, like, sometimes you just need to let the kids play. Wait, should I have saved? Maybe I should have saved. Nah, it's okay. I won't die. Will I? Though I was never a GTA kid growing up.
Thousands of red eyes. No, wait till you hear this. Wait till you hear this. His lordship draws his sword
and shing!
The goblin chief runs off screaming straight down a marvel's gullet.
You know, same. To be honest, I never really... I played GTA, but I could not really enjoy it. If there was anything car element to the game, it was really more of real racing games that I like Ridge Racer, Gran Turismo,
One of these nights he may
Need
even
for
deign to
Speed.
join us.
Because I didn't know... I guess it's more like I didn't know how to play GTA. That, like, it didn't make sense to me. when I played GTA, so it never really caught my attention. Because GTA, I was thinking, okay, so we ride cars, but it didn't give me the same satisfaction as actual racing games. So I was like, meh. But I do know that it has a large following, and I do know it's very big impact in the gaming industry. But I just never got into
Are
it.
you unwell?
No, Father. Just a little tired.
Well, it has been a long day.
And sometimes I would play
They all
arcade
like
games
Clive,
like
don't they?
fighting games.
Aye. Your brother will be a fine shield. We're all very proud of him.
Oh, Dad. Can you eat my carrots?
Father,
Oh,
why is it that the dominance is always born into our family? Doesn't seem fair.
because your mom wants it to be in our bloodline only.
We cannot live without the blessing of the crystals. And the crystals work their magic through us. You have been blessed, Joshua. Blessed to be a dominant, to wield the power of an icon. Our family has been chosen to share that power with the people.
Oh,
So that is
Dad.
what we must do.
I hope that we get a DLC, even just a short story with Elwyn. I've always preferred Red Dead because it brought me back to the classic Western films. That's true. One of my conferences actually talked about how Red Dead Redemption does a lot of influence from Western films, but also creates a discussion between games and film connections. And it was a very interesting lecture. Um, oh, hello, Trey, 45 a.m.
Louder, my friend!
Welcome to the stream.
Louder!
Hi. Uh, I'm Mitsu. Welcome. I sorry I don't have a proper entrance
Don't so close up on
introduction,
me, miss.
but I hope you'll enjoy joining us in this stream. Oh man. Oh, there's no active time lore. Torgal!
Poor Jill.
Mm.
She'll be wondering where you've got to. So much for you being a fine hound.
Oh, I almost pre-ordered a Torgal plush. I didn't have the money when I had a chance to pre-order. So it sucks.
So this is where you've been hiding.
What are you doing out here?
I didn't see you at the feast.
Feasts are the only time shields are allowed to take their ease, and I've never really been one for cakes and ale.
Same.
It's the vegetables I don't like.
When I was kid, same. I'm pretty much Clive and Joshua in terms of diet when I was a kid. No, when I was a kid, sweets were a bit okay with me, but not that much. But now, I'm really not into cakes and ales as well. At least I eat my carrots now. When I was a kid,
I hear you
I
through a
also don't
marble.
eat carrots.
All the men were singing your praises.
Oh, Joshua.
They never used to. When I joined the ranks, everyone thought I was a spoilt little lordling. If I didn't know how to handle a sword, I'd be a laughing stock. The Archduke's firstborn failure.
No.
You're the one they really believe in. I'm jealous.
Wait, active time lore. Phoenix Gate. I'm also a huge anime and manga fan. Oh, awesome. I've always been more of a pie person than cake. You know what? Because pie is not that famous back home, so I can't really say if I like pies because the closest I'm sure you know of Jollibee, right? So the closest we have pie was the mango peach pie from Jollibee. We do have egg pie sometimes, but because of that, there's not a lot of pies available, at least for me at that time. So I can't really say like, man, I might have enjoyed pie when I was younger, if it was readily available like cake, but sadly it wasn't. Phoenix Gate, a walled keep situated near Rosario's northwestern border. It was originally constructed to serve as an outpost in the wars against the Northern Territories, but its true significance lie deep within the ruins atop which the stronghold stands. Here, in an ancient chamber accessible only to the dominant of fire, is held the rite of ancestral communion, an important ritual which it is believed that the phoenix can hear the words of the duchy's forebears. Oh man, this keyword here, rite of ancestral communion, we hear this later on in the game, like really later on in the game, we hear this again, or at least we hear this again. And I never knew when I heard that in the cutscene, I was like, what the heck is that? So here it actually makes sense here that the undying was there. Spoilers, because yeah, so that's what happens in the Phoenix Gate. Yeah, makes sense now.
That's not true. They don't believe in me. They believe in the
Are you
power
excited
of
for
the
Spider-Man
dominant.
2? To be honest, like, don't hate
My
me.
brother the
I
Phoenix,
don't play Spider-Man,
ruler of
so
life and death.
I'm not excited for Spider-Man
Isn't
2.
fair.
So
It
sorry.
should have been you.
Also, I'm poor. I can't buy
I
games.
don't have what it takes to lead our people.
I can only buy
I
every
don't have the strength. But
quarter
you do.
of a year.
Every man has his duty. Ours was decided long ago, when our ancestors chose to instate the dominant as the Archduke of Rosaria. All to ensure that whenever our nation stood on a precipice, the Phoenix would rise from the flames to drag us back from the brink. The fate of Rosaria sits on the dominant's shoulders. It is your duty to bear that burden.
Oh.
What about you?
I was born to be your shield. That is why I was given the Phoenix's blessing. To keep our future rulers safe. No matter what. However hard it gets. I'll never let you down.
Oh man, so
Thank you, Clive. I know you'll always take care of me.
Oh no.
Before I can do that, you need to take care of yourself. Alright?
Alright.
I should go inside. It's past my bedtime. Good night, Torgal.
Good night. You know, I do have a question. Was Joshua sick? Or like, you know, like was Joshua like really naturally weak to be sickly when he was a kid? Or did it just, or was it exacerbated when he awakened as dominant of the Phoenix? Because if it's, because I do know that they said that, you know, you could awaken as a dominant when you're a little bit older. Because I think of Dion, I think of the other dominants, like, how come they're not that sickly?
Supplies from the capital.
Like, is it because Joshua awakened when he was really young, and so the toll on his body started when he was young, and therefore he became sickly? Or was he just naturally sickly, and it just got exacerbated by the fact that he's a dominant?
You
I'm
took
not
your
sure.
time sampling the wares, were ya?
I highly recommend you play them. They're phenomenal games. Insomniac kills it when delivering the level of Spider-Man games. Oh, really?
Good job the North is
I'll
full of
try.
enterprising traders keen to keep us in line.
When I get
Spare a barrel for the boys on duty, eh?
extra money. Actually, I should wait for Cyber Monday deals. Maybe I can get those games without hurting my budget. Because at the moment, oh my gosh, if you just know, at the moment, I would say 90% of my money and my savings goes to research. Even today, the reason I'm playing this today is because I was told to please have at least one day without doing research. And I'm
Gateway
like,
secured, Captain.
can't.
We proceed as
But
planned.
okay, I'll spend the entire day of Saturday not doing research, and I'll finally get to play my PS5. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, I'm also still waiting for reimbursement from the university, because the way research budget goes there is it's a reimbursement method. So I have to shelf out the money first, hence extra poor. And it's been 2 months since then, and I'm still not reimbursed. So I'm kind of sad and also poor, poor. Yeah, but I'll try to see if there's a sale. I'll try to get that, because a lot of my friends do recommend playing it. I've seen my share house mate, roommate, I guess. No, share house mate.
Is that?
Play the first Spider-Man game in PS4 before, and I was like, hey, that's cool. So I was more of an observer back then.
Forgive me, my prince. It's me, Wade. You probably don't.
See, this is what I was talking about earlier. So for me, it was like, why does he say that you probably don't remember me? I was like, why does Joshua know you before? And you don't get this context if you just watch the cutscenes. But because you actually look at the active time lore, it makes sense now that earlier. Yeah, that makes sense.
Remember me?
This one. This, because, yeah, his life was saved by young Joshua.
I remember. What is it?
We're under attack. I don't know who they are, but they've set light to half the castle. I must get you to safety, Your Highness.
Very well.
Very well. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Follow me, Your Highness.
The money I don't need goes to games, manga releases, and at this time of year, movie tickets. Oh man, there's an esports player back home that I follow and I like. He has a similar concept. Well, I mean, obviously they're esports players, professional
so, Your
players.
Highness. We must hurry.
They get paid for playing the games, but he has this mentality. During an interview, he was asked like, "How do you spend your money?" And he's like, "I buy things that I don't need but make me happy." Because basically he grew up also kind of poor, and he never got the chance to enjoy childhood because of that. So that's why most of the things that he tend to buy and collect right now are like resin kits, games, stuff that pretty much he could not afford when he was younger. Oh wait, I didn't do this. I should have done this before. I should have looked at the sprite. This is the only time we will get a sprite Joshua. Can I please take a screenshot? Thank you. And where? Wait. Ah, here. So I found this funny during the demo. The princely stay. Should his breeches fall, so surely would a duchy, or so the tailor charged with crafting Prince Joshua's belt was told. While certainly pleasant to the eyes, the cloth wrapping is a poor substitute to a set of iron tassets when it comes to stopping a spiked mace to the groin. I was just like, what? The team deserves a raise for adding this really creative ways to describe stuff in the game. Also, this one, the Burning Thorn, is one of the set of 7 swords said to have been forged in the flames of Mount Dristanas. And the Burning Thorn has been passed down through the generations for use by the Archduke's family and his closest shields. As it is the smallest of the 7, it will be carried by the Prince Joshua until he is of age that allows him to handle a larger weapon. So, I don't know yet. Do we actually get to collect all the 7 swords? Are they items we can collect in the game, or are some of them like DLC potential? Because I'm like, what are these 7 swords? The only bills I pay is student loans. I already have my tickets for... Oh! Oppenheimer. I actually want to watch that as well. I'm not sure if it's going to be released at the same time here in Japan, but I do want to watch it.
No, I must
I know a lot of people are saying like, oh, why are you gonna watch it? I mean, you know, like, don't you know the history is dead in Japan? I'm like, it is precisely because of that. Because, you know, it's a different kind of historical representation, but that's why I do want to watch it. Because I want to see how they took liberty of
I saw them at the feast.
the format of a film
They were
to show it.
laughing.
This is Sambra Quargarb.
Oh no.
Why would the Empire?
Okay, so
He must be my father.
I actually think that we should have a DLC of the Remembrance Ceremony, because the fact that Joshua reacted that way right now when Wade said it's some Brequa garb shows that there's a certain connection between the duchy and the empire, to the point that yeah, they could be allies, but there has to be more to it. They must be really, really tight, close allies.
Who does that?
And also, this is because I always think that I always believe that Joshua and Dion were close friends when they were kids.
Damn it! The bastards are everywhere.
Why would the Empire do this? They're our allies.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's that. Isn't Japan the only Asian country that gets films at the same time as America? Keep in mind, I don't know the release schedules. Actually, you'd be surprised. It's the Philippines who is the only Asian country that gets the film at the same time as America. Sometimes it's even before America. In Japan, sometimes it's a week after or maybe 2 weeks after. It depends on the kind of movie. If it's Marvel, it's pretty much the same release date. But it's very rare in Japan. It's possible if it's a very big kind of film, because there are so many films being shown in Japan. You have animation films to contend with live action films. That's why the schedule is always like full. And most of the time what happens is, when the schedule is full and there's a blockbuster potential Western film, they would insert it, so the whatever was scheduled there would have like maybe 1 or 2 weeks break, and then it will go back to that slot. But in the Philippines, it actually does this because the way I understand it is, we don't have as much of a local film production release, so that's why the cinemas in the Philippines can actually do that.
I am the dominant.
Oh, I'm sorry, I actually thought I just pressed the finish shift, which is circle. Actually, Dark Knight was the first ever movie. Oh, the first ever movie I saw on IMAX was Avatar by James Cameron. But yeah, I know that it's made by Christopher Nolan. That's why I was like, there is potential it could be on the same day. But the only problem is, it's not Marvel, it's not DC.
Damn
so
it. His wounds are deep.
We're not sure that it could release on the same day. It has potential in Japan, but yeah, we're not sure. I'll have to check.
Don't worry, you're going to be all right.
I'll hold them off.
Oh.
Clive!
Joshua! Come here.
Oh.
Tyler, you're hurt.
I'll survive, thanks to His Highness.
Your Grace, Lord Murdoch.
Dad! My other dad! Okay, now that also makes sense, because now we learned that Tyler was actually the right-hand man of Rodney. There's another meaning to why he looked at Tyler and did the nod thing. Let's see, what was added here? Oh, I think this was okay. The last part was added. Instead, he devoted himself to the study of sort. No, no, no. Yeah. This was added. Healed his country from the front, which he did to wide acclaim in leading the armies in quelling the rebellious northern territories.
You rescued the young prince. Well done, Sir Wade.
Actually, Dark Knight was
I'm in your
you
debt,
get Mission
soldier.
Impossible the same day. I'm not sure. I could check right now.
Your Grace.
If it's there. Because, like,
stay here.
to be honest, I
should head straight
haven't
for the
been
rear
looking
gate.
at the cinema for 2 weeks now. So I wasn't even sure if Mission Impossible is released here. I do know it's released in the Philippines. Because, like, on release day, there were so many memes already.
Omia lost Alan, Tuisa Gelif. May the winds speed you to Rosalith.
The north gate's up ahead. There are chocobos in the stables. Father, take Joshua and get to safety.
No, I'm not going without you. You're supposed to be my shield, remember?
I remember, which is why I'm going to hold the enemy here while you make your escape.
I will order our remaining forces to rally at the gate. Now go.
I will do my duty. You must do your duty too.
Clive, don't say that.
I know.
You have to keep Father safe.
Oh, surprisingly, it's not in the cinema right now.
Joshua.
It's not in the cinema right now. So it could be a... Usually the films change on Sunday, so maybe tomorrow. But yeah, surprisingly, it's not. This scene, the last time they see each other. Okay. Right. Is there anything I need to prepare? 109. Okay, fine. Let's... Actually, no. Oh, I don't have enough to actually level up. Crap. I actually don't use taunt a lot. I mean, at least in the demo, I never used taunt a lot.
Everyone's dead.
Oh, where do we go now? Here. Oh wait, did I go back? Oh crap, I went back. Sorry.
Damn it all.
I only see the major movies in IMAX for movies. Like the new Insidious I want. Yeah, usually I think because IMAX takes a lot of resources, you know. So I think that it's only those movies that have the potential to be blockbuster hits that tend to have IMAX. Especially since, you know, the actual production company of that movie could create it in IMAX format. Otherwise, upscaling would just be terrible. Okay, sorry. Before I continue this part, I noticed. So, so I watched the entire game, right? And then when I played the demo, it was actually earlier when they infiltrated the castle. When the one of them who infiltrated did the salute, and I was like, oh, because I know that that's the salute for Sunbreak. So I was like, yeah, it when you play the game again, you you get to see all these small details, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
You take care of that spellcaster.
Okay.
I'll keep the others occupied.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I kept on stumbling. Also, the recharge or for the charging for the burning deck is really slow.
That's them done. Are you all right?
Unless you upgrade.
I'm fine.
It.
It's my father and Joshua I'm worried about. We should head back.
Not before we meet Estinian. Just kidding. Well, Estinian's voice actor, who's now typecast as.
Hey, look out!
May I have this dance?
Oh, Estinian.
He's an Imperial Dragoon.
And you are the shield who was blessed by the Phoenix. Not that it will save you!
Oh crap.
Rosarian World!
Oh crap. Ah! Okay, the recovery from that lunge animation is too slow. I won't be able to do precision dodge. Crap. Oh crap. Yeah. Let's go. Oh man, Rodney! I mean Marlo, so sorry. Oh,
Your time is past!
oh crap. Oh, double jump. Oh no. It's the freaking strike.
It's open!
There we go.
Now, Clive! Have at it!
You're going to regret that, boy.
Double jump. Oh crap. No, I am not gonna use my potion on you! Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap! don't use my potion, I'm scared. No. But only because your other stuff are quite slow. But I really don't think I should have used potion there. I can do this without it.
To Sunrag.
Oh man, I just killed this thing here. Just kidding. Yay! Do we level up? Please. Cool. I take it you're a Fire Emblem fan also. Yeah, I am. So personal lore. If I bought the PS5 because of Final Fantasy 16, I bought the Switch because of Fire Emblem Three Houses. I bought the 3DS because of Fire Emblem Awakening. Yeah. I do like Fire Emblem.
Are you hurt? I'm fine. So, they sent in the Dragoons. Imperial Vipers. Do they really mean to invade us?
Not yet. Their numbers were too few. They were not here to take the castle. They were here to take heads. Our work is done. We should return to my father.
My lord, look.
My lord, look.
We issued these sashes but yesterday.
And
Rosalith. If they were already among us, what if there are others?
Among us!
Father and Joshua are in danger.
We must hurry. Take your steed.
What is that?
By the way, I also have a theory why this entity is wearing that garb. And at the same time, why a certain character was first seen wearing this ensemble. And it has something to do with the favored religion of the land. You respect me for that? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Like, I waited for a year saving money just to buy Switch, but essentially because of Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Thank goodness.
And Satellaview for BS Fire Emblem, right?
Your Grace.
Oh, I never got the...
For the moment.
Huh? Satellaview?
We ride for Rosalith to rally our forces. I will need your help to see Joshua safely back to the capital.
So basically, I was more of a PlayStation console owner. And my first foray with Nintendo was 3DS, and only because of Fire Emblem Awakening. I don't have any other consoles.
Won't be possible. You honor the snakes!
Stay back! I'm warning you!
No!
Run! No! Hey.
Oh man, you can actually feel the heartbeat in the DualSense controller. That's awesome. Tyler! This is so awesome, you can feel the heartbeat in the DualSense.
You must do your duty too.
Oh my gosh.
You have to keep Father safe.
I have to. I had to.
Yeah, see, that's why I feel really bad for Joshua, because he immediately corrects himself from I have to I had to. So there's immediate realization of I failed.
Oh, fuck.
Kill him! Now!
By the way, I do have a theory that among the dominants, Joshua is at least one of the youngest in history to prime as an icon.
Phoenix!
Because I have a feeling that you would need, you know, more training, and so you need to be a little bit older to prime. But because of situation and circumstances, he was able
He's
to.
lost control! I have to do something! I have to save him! No, my lord! Fall back!
Oh, fudge. Ambrosia! I like how Square Enix doesn't pull back the punches.
Thank you, God. You saved my life. Get her on her feet and run.
Did you grow up with Persona? Yes. I mean, what do you mean grow up? Because my first play of Persona was Persona 3, and that was, I'm already college. So, it's not really growing up.
Come on! You're his shield.
But I did play Persona 3 when it released. I'm old, by the way.
Save him! My lord?
My lord? And yeah, so the reason why I started with Persona 3 was because it was available on the PSP. So technically my first Persona was Persona 3, P3P, which is the portable.
Second icon of fire. That's impossible.
Oh my gosh. It's one of my favorite songs in the game. Freaking Sulkin. I am.
Who are you?
34 this. Oh my gosh, I'm 34 this year. Yeah, I'm 34.
Me?
So technically, I'm just 5 years younger from the entire franchise of Final Fantasy.
Leave me alone!
Okay, let's go! Oh. Wait, oh crap. I should have adjusted the music. Because I don't want to bother my neighbors, because you know, Japan apartments, we have really thin walls, and it's already 5 in the afternoon, so I mean, even though it's a Saturday, but I just don't want them to call in the police and say I'm doing noise pollution and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, let's go. Ah, crap. And this is my weakness. I'm actually quite glad that it's not that hard, but I'm really bad at first-person shooter using a controller. Oh crap, my experience with first-person shooters is more of a desktop, so that's why I'm really bad when it's like this. I played Drakengard, and that one was also difficult for me when I played Drakengard. Oh crap! I did not see that one. sad I can't listen to this song full music. I mean, like, full volume. Maybe next time I play the game, I should wear my headphones so that I can enjoy without worrying. Oh!
I have to save them!
I was actually reading the lyrics the other day for this song. Koji Fox? Michael Christopher Koji Fox is amazing. Because, so technically Soken wrote the song, but he provided, you know, for the translation. Not that there was a need for translating the song because there was no lyrics, but, you know, provided guidance on the actual words to use for the song so that it would be in theme. And that's why this particular song is the Phoenix. Oh crap.
I made a promise to my brother. And I mean to keep it.
Oh crap.
I will do my duty.
Also, did you know that you can actually get game over here? If you are actually bad at it, you can actually get game over. So I hope I don't get a game over. Because I think I was watching someone stream and they actually failed and got a game over, and I was like, oh my gosh, you could actually get a game over at this part of the game. And it was during the demo as well. So I was like, whoa, who would have thought? Oh wait, oh no, could we? Oh crap. I don't know if I can take that much HP down in time. Come on, Joshua! Okay, I got it. So basically it's in this part, right? So if you end up shooting something else aside from Ifrit, like if you ended up wasting time hitting the fireball, you actually get the game over here because
My flames may flicker,
this doesn't happen.
but they shall never die.
So it's important that you actually defeat Ifrit before he releases Damnation of Hellfire. Dun, dun, dun. You started FES on PS2. My PS2 games were also JRPGs. Mostly. My favorite one was Final Fantasy XII. And Suikoden 3. And 4. And 5. Oh boy. Oh boy. Here we go. What makes this scene even worse is the fact that it fades to black and you just hear. So, you know, when you're deprived of your sight, your other senses gets more sensitive, so it becomes more heart-wrenching at that point. And then when this happens, it's like, wow.
Joshua! Stop it! Stop it!
Man, Ben's star is really good.
I swore I would protect him! Please! Please! Stop it!
Oh, and you can see that the color of the phoenix is actually fading.
I'll kill you!
You can hear...
I'll fucking kill you!
I don't know if it translates there, but you can hear the flickering of the flames in the background while he's saying that. So it's like, oh crap.
Please! Quite a mess that monster made. Damn shame about the Phoenix, but can't be helped. Oh, my condolences, Your Grace. Is there aught we can do?
Haven't you done enough, Captain? Joshua was my world, and now he is gone. I can only pray there will be a place for me in the world his radiance seeks to create.
Wait, can I? Oh, there's an active time lore. It was Annabella's treachery that led to the disaster at Phoenix Gate. Yeah. So, let's see. It was her ever purpose in life to preserve her phoenix-bearing bloodline, for which reason she betrayed her husband, that she might enter in league with the force she judged the mightier, the Holy Empire of Sunbreak. Also, by the way, I actually think that it's not just Annabella's fault at this part, because she just said that, you know, Joshua was my world. I have the feeling that she may have wanted to spare Joshua, but at the same time, the concept of, you know, the two joining the two bloodlines, I have a feeling that the Emperor of Sunbreak also had a bit of a moment of realization of the potential, and so he was like, no, actually, if you find the dominant of the Phoenix, kill the kid, so that it would then be their future child, because the dominant would remain unless they're killed, right? So that's why I think from this scene, it's not just her, it's also the Empire. Because earlier we saw that the guy, he killed Elwyn and he was about to kill Joshua, so it was clear that he wanted to kill Joshua as well, or like Joshua's death was also part of the mission. So yeah, right. The Imperial Army, the assembled forces of the Holy Empire of Sunbreak, while officially under the command of the cardinals, it is Holy Emperor Sylvester Lesage whom the legions truly serve. Exactly. On the battlefield, the dragoons, peerless lances renowned throughout the realm, are the Empire's keenest weapons, descending from the skies to sow terror and disarray among their hapless foes. But the thing is, this is more of the Imperial Army, but they're not exclusively the Dragoons, because the Dragoons is on. Then again, Dion should be still. He should still be a kid at this point, so makes sense.
I see. Your Grace, over here.
Oof.
The rubble must have protected him from the worst of the flames. Shall we take him prisoner?
No need for that. Kill him. Wait. As my husband never tired of telling me, he is a fine soldier. I'm sure he would make an excellent addition to the Imperial front line. All in its right place.
You know what? She screwed her chance.
Take this one.
At this point, she just literally screwed her chance. Imagine if she actually allowed them to kill Clive at
Chin
this
up,
point.
lad.
If they killed
You're
Clive
going
at
to
this
be a
point,
soldier.
like Ultima's plans wouldn't, happen. Yay! We finally got through the prologue in 2 hours and 30 minutes. That is one really good demo. "13 years later. Year of the Realm 873. The Nisa Defile.
Welcome back. Sorry. What's our situation? Let's just say Shiva and Titan's little spat hasn't made things any easier.
And? It's as you thought. The Crusaders have sounded the retreat.
Then we follow.
We're down a man, Sergeant.
If we return without Shiva's head, our fate will be no different from Biast's.
I'll take my chances with the Iron Blood.
Oh, sorry.
At least then I
Keep
might die
hitting the
fighting.
mic.
After you do, that is.
I won't be dying. Not today.
Then it's settled. No dying. Now, if you don't mind, we have an army to chase.
And it's too bad Avis actually sounded cool. Awoken! New iconic abilities. Oh, I can already access Scarlet Cyclone. Wait, additional content is now available for redemption. These items can be claimed from the system tab in the main. I have to go to the main menu?
How do they expect us to kill something that can do...
Wait, what? Wait. Guys, would it be okay for me to go to the main menu?
They don't.
Just to claim them? I can't save. What do you mean I can't save? Can I please save? I want to claim my items. You know what? No, I'll
Need a
survive.
girl holding its leash.
Wait. Sorry. I need to check. Oh, I don't have stone skin. Okay. I guess I can. Which one should I? Yes, please. Jump! Jump! Oh, there we go. Stone skin. It's too bad we couldn't bring. I think we also had the strength.
The old trails are gone. It'll be hell finding a way out.
Do you think a retreating army and their dominant will fare any better?
Man, they're fast. I wonder if I can dash. I know that I can dash. I saw it. But am I allowed to dash now? Dash, dash, dash. Maybe I can just finish it. Oh. Level 10. Oh wait, I have to jump here. Okay. Where do I go from here? Okay. Sorry if this camera is like annoying, guys. I'm always trying to see if there are items around.
Down there.
There we go.
So, Titan has knocked the fight out of our Ironblood friends. Where are the rest of them? That can't be the main host.
Wait, can I see? Oh. The branded soldier.
Wait.
Wait. Wait. Yes, wait. Bearers forced to fight for the nations that enslaved them, able to cast powerful magics that entirely disposable. They're often placed on the front lines in battle or assigned to highly dangerous scouting or assassination missions. Yes, we're here for an assassination mission, actually. The Bastards. Okay. All of its members, including its leader, Tiamat, are bearers, branded men pressed into servitude for the ability to wield magic. Okay. The Titan. The Warden of Earth, of whom Hugo Kupka is the current dominant. He takes the form of a stone-skinned giant, whose granite fists shake the earth with every mighty pommel. Titan's dominant awakens among the peoples of the Dalmatian deserts, the recipient of his strength being granted great power and status by the Republic in return for a commitment to protect the nation in times of war. Okay. The Warden of Ice, whose appearance on the battlefield makes her enemy's blood run cold. The Iron Blood sent Shiva against the Republican forces in the Nisa Defile, where she dueled against Titan, the icon of Earth. Okay.
Our fortunes have turned, Sergeant. It's her.
The dominant? Are you certain?
The Crystalline Orthodox is a backwards faith for a backwards people. In the Iron Kingdom, they teach that dominants are unclean aberrations, born of...
Okay, never mind. I was hoping that they would add the
Blackest sea.
Crystalline Orthodox.
Only their priests are allowed to perform the rites of priming, and I see many.
We end this quickly.
Schreischgott! Adionir Sagarid! Drach!
Please.
Data! Must be Eile! What Alvation Naukin, Alan Scully asked.
Let this be the end.
Avis, care to kill some iron blood?
Gladly.
Wait, that is really the
focus on the
name
target.
of the trophy?
Understood.
Shit. Because I thought when I saw that, it was just a, I don't know, just a name. It turned out to be.
Be gone!
Oh crap. So bad timing, sorry. Come here. Oh crap. Oh crap.
Too slow.
Oh crap. Okay. Oh crap. My timing is so bad. Oh, there we go. My charging is not.
Orders, Sergeant!
Oh!
Stop walking and move!
Yes! I am moving!
Fucking icons. Icon? She's not even fully primed.
Not this time.
Oh crap.
Be gone!
Just what I needed.
Oh crap. That's so bad with the timing. Just like when I'm dodging, exactly where I am jumping to, that's where the ice
this time.
drops. Come on, come on.
I will not have their blood on my hands.
Don't worry, Jill. I'll save you.
Much appreciated.
Leave me be!
Too slow.
At last.
Okay. Frozen tear, used for crafting. Potion, high potion, still silk, used for crafting. Okay.
Is she dead?
I don't think so.
Well? What are you waiting for?
Chill.
I'll bloody do it then.
Fuck. We've got company, Wyvern. What the hell are you doing?
Lord Ohilda Vendra!
Get your ass over here and help me with these bastards!
I'm sorry, Jill.
What is wrong with you, Wyvern?
Dominant. I know her.
Know her? Look around you! Do you think any of these animals care? I need you here!
You think I care? Where? Oh.
Now that that's done, I won't ask you again, Wyvern. Take her head so we can be done with this.
I can't. I won't.
You would betray the Holy Empire?
Huh.
Betray? I don't recall ever pledging allegiance to your Emperor. My service may have been bought with this brand, but not my loyalty. I just fight to survive.
And you think I don't? The Empire will have our heads if we return empty-handed.
Oh, that's right, he's
So
a
if
brand,
you
but I was
won't
like,
take
oh, you have
hers,
powers
I'll have to
too?
take yours.
Like, yeah, that's right.
I told you, Sergeant. I'm not dying here today. And neither is she.
Let's find out.
Oh.
Not this time.
Fuck. Too much movement. Wow.
Wyvern! Have you forgotten who plucked you from the front lines? Who trained you?
Oh, crap.
Who gave you a name when you had none?
You speak as if we don't bear the same brand, son. I've always had a name, and I've not forgotten it.
Still clinging to the past like a torn blanket. Then you will die, as you should have 13 years ago.
I wonder if he was there. Were you one of those soldiers?
You're nothing. No one. And I will not fall by your hand.
Oh my.
Need to end this quickly.
Oh crap.
By a traitor's blade.
Do we level up? Yes. God, we're right. And meteorite. slow-mo effect. Because then you can see how fast lightning was moving. Torgal!
This way. Bloody wind. Well, come on then.
Fuck. Fuck.
Hugo, dear, my proud desert lion. Would that you had taken care when chasing the hare? I expected more from the mighty Titan. You put the Ice Queen on her back, no doubt. But you'll have to work harder if you're to claim this prize.
I like that really small detail, the shift of the expression she had there.
My lady, the thunder.
We'll be hearing more soon enough. You always were a fucking snake, Sid. Gather the men. We have work to do.
Jill. Is it really you? And who's this fine hound I see before me?
A fine hound who saved your life, that's who.
Torgal.
Aye?
His name is Torgal.
You two acquainted? Well then, you won't mind taking him off my hands. Funny. I'd always pictured you as more the chocobo type. Clive Rosfield.
Dun dun dun.
Come now. Fleet as flame, fierce as a wildfire. That there was the blessing of the Phoenix. I'd heard rumors that you'd survived, but I never paid them much heed. Calm down. I didn't come all this way for your handsome mug. Now her, on the other hand, she seemed worth muddying my boots for. None the worse for wear. Still, might be best to get a second opinion. Back her up.
No? Oh.
Not another step. I mean it.
Well, I'm not about to leave her here. Not one with a warm bed waiting. It's all right.
Oh, good.
You're welcome to join us. You do want to help her, don't you?
Sid, if we aren't back soon, Nan'll have our heads.
I'll explain everything once we're back at the hideaway. Come on.
Oh, Oh, okay. I've always wanted to do this. Explore the world map. Like, okay, so I think that this could be a DLC content. There's a vast ocean here as well. This could also be a wait. Oh, there's a mysterious island here. This could also be a DLC content. Yeah. And I think it would also be nice if we could explore the Iron Kingdoms. Right. If I'm here, I can access the main menu? No? I can't? Wait. Can't? Oh. Wait. I can't save? I thought you can save. Wait, I can't save in the world map? I can't. No, I was hoping to save. Crap. What button do I press? Nothing. Fine, I guess we'll have to go here. The Hideaway. In Central Storm Deadlands, the withered remnants of a once verdant valley, long consumed by the blight. One would have to be either extremely foolish or extremely desperate, or an extremely desperate fool, to make this wasteland their home. AKA Sid. Wait, can I lore? Yeah, can I lore? Storm, the westerly of Valistia's two great continents, with its frozen northern reaches, its temperate marshy midlands, and the searing heat of the south. It boasts a breadth of climes and cultures not seen anywhere else in the known realms. The Deadlands. Wait, for real? I can't see them in the lore? Oh, here we go. The dominant of Shiva and Clive's childhood friend. In the depths of the Nisa defile, the two came to blows at the orders of the armies that enslaved them. Jill fighting to defend the priests of the Iron Kingdom. Clive obeying the Empire's orders to take the head of Shiva's dominant. Exhausted from her tilt with Titan, Jill came close to falling to Assassin's blades, but was spared at the last moment when Clive's memories of their time together came flooding back. Sidolphus Telamon. Concerned by a battalion of Iron Kingdom crusaders in the depths of the Nisa defile, Clive thought his end was nigh until Sid appeared and spirited him and Jill away to a secret hideaway in the Deadlands. Torgal! Best boy. Clive's faithful friend, now fully grown, after the tragic events at Phoenix Gate, Clive believed that Torgal was lost to him forever. However, the paths were to cross again some 13 years later when Torgal's new master, Sid, came to Clive's rescue in the depths of Nisa Defile. Despite their long years apart, the two knew each other as if not a single day had passed since their separation. How did you get into Sid? Like, how did you find Sid? How did Sid find you?
Not much further now.
Oh wait, sorry, I wanted to read Goots. Goots, one of Sid's trusted allies. A gentle giant who has a warm word for everyone. Okay.
But we're in the middle of the Deadlands.
Keen eye, you. The blight sucked this place dry. Meaning no trees, no birds, and no magic. But it also means no neighbours.
The last place anyone would think to look.
It's getting cold. Should turn off the AC.
Home sweet home.
hideaway.
This place. These are fallen ruins.
Well, we didn't think they'd mind. And it keeps the black from our lungs.
But how do you survive without magic?
How does anyone? Hard work and a bit of nous. You must be starving. We grow them here, believe it or not. Suit yourself.
Suit yourself.
You're back.
Ah, Talia.
And this is the Dominant.
How cold since we found her. I was hoping you might give her a look over.
All right. Goots, get her upstairs.
But none will...
Don't fret about Karen. I've taken care of her fee.
All of it?
She's the best healer this side of the belt. You've nothing to worry about. Go on, have a look around. I'll be in my solar.
That looked absolutely delicious. Okay, we can finally save. Press touchpad. Oh, okay, detailed map. And I can set up a marker here. Which I could not do when I was playing Final Fantasy XIV. Or maybe I could, maybe later on. I'm still in the beginning anyway. I guess I could get Heat Wave, but I don't really need it now. Huh. Wait. So technically I need to go to Sid's solo.
You reckon he's a soldier?
But can I just like fat chocobo?
Be surprised if he wasn't. The smell of wars.
I suppose I'll be needing a new sword.
Then you'll need to speak with Blackthorn.
What? Is there anything here?
Sid once told me, the Blight doesn't kill the land, it only makes her forget who she once was. She'll eventually remember her purpose. All she needs is a little reminding.
Seems to work. Whee! Why can't I jump there? Wait. It's just water. Why can't I jump into the water? Right, I do need to save. There we go. Finally, our very first save file. Yes, I want to make sure I actually save. Okay. And right. Let me check. It's 6 p.m. It's been 3 hours. Okay. Okay, guys. So, oh, sorry. I keep hitting it. I'm really sorry. Right. So, I think we can end the first part of our stream today here. It's 6 p.m. I have been streaming for 3 hours anyway. So, time for a little bit of stretching, walking about. You know, keep healthy. Keep your blood circulating. And also because I think I should go and cook for my dinner. That way I can eat dinner. Hey Tanuki, yes, you should also probably go to sleep. Yeah, isn't it like 5-ish on your end? 5 or 6, maybe 7, 4. You should go and sleep. Have some good rest. I'll come back later anyway. Yeah, so thank you so much. It's only 4. Still, you need rest. It's 4 a.m. Have a moment of rest too. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's about it for our first part of today's stream. I'll be making some dinner. It's called basoy. It's a traditional local dish in our area of the Philippines. It's a nice healthy soup. Good for the weather right now. And I'll see you guys later, I guess. So, as always, stay safe and take care. Oh, and thank you very much, Taniki, for the raid. Also, thank you for Derolo for hanging out with us, and for Trey earlier, as well as. Oh, yeah, that's it. Alright, see you guys. Bye. Finger hearts. Heart, heart, another heart, and a big heart. Alright, bye.